In today's session, we're going to dive a bit deeper into working with text. Let's take the text "Hello World" as an example. I want you to imagine the text as a grid, where each character in the string, or the text, is in a position in that grid. For example, the capital H is in the first position, the lowercase e is in the second position, and it continues. Even the space is in a position in the grid, and so is the exclamation mark. In Java, each of these positions are numbered, but instead of starting with the capital H at 1, the decision was made to start at 0. There were good reasons for doing that, which we won't go into here. The text "Hello World" is 12 characters long. In other words, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 positions on the grid. But because they started numbering at 0, the position numbers don't go up to 12, they only go up to 11. So the length of the text is 12, but the last character, the exclamation mark, is stored in position 11, 12 minus 1, and the first character is stored in position 0. To reinforce the point, if we show the length as being 12 as a position over here, I want you to be very clear that there are no characters in that position. There is no character that's in position 12 or that's in the position equal to the length. The positions start at 0 and go up to 1 before the length minus 1. Let's look at a code example. I've created a variable called text into which I've put the value "Hello World." And let's say we wanted to get a specific character from the text. Perhaps we want to get the W from world. Well, that character is in position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Position 6 is where we'll find the W. So to do that from code, I'm going to take my text and I'm going to call a method that is written inside the string class, and this method takes in a number as a parameter. In this case, I'm going to type the number 6 because I want the character at position 6. And I'm going to print that out to the screen. So I'm going to wrap that in a system.out.println. Then let's show what that looks like if I run it. There we go, it's printed out W. So it's taken our text, our string, it's found the character at position 6, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember the space is a character. 6, and there's our W over there, position 6. And here we have printed out the character at position 6 in the text. Let's try something a little more advanced. In this case, I want to go through each character in my text and print out the character followed by a space to spread the words, the text "Hello World" out. In other words, I'm going to start at position 0, and I'm then going to go to position 1, then position 2, all the way up to position 11. So in code, you guys might recognize that you need a loop. This time we're going to start at position 0, and you can see my variable I starts at 0, so we're using the variable I to talk about which position in the text we want to use. We're going to start in the first position at position 0, and we're going to keep going, not to position 10, but rather we can use a function that's built into text, just like the CharAt is built into text. We can get the length of the text. And remember that this text.length will return 12. So in this case, we're looping from position 0, and we're going up to, as long as I is less than the length. So it won't go up to the length, it'll keep going 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on, up to point 11, because position 11 is less than the length. I'm just going to move this output out the way. I'll put it at the top there. And next, for each character, as we go through each character, let's print out each character in our output. So I'm going to print out the character at, remember it's text.CharAt, the position. Remembering that the first time we come through the loop, I is set to 0. So the character we will print out will be at position I, which is 0. The second time we come through the loop, I will be 1. So we'll print out the character at position 1. So if I run this, you'll see that it's printed out all the characters, but each character is on its own line. But I want each character to be on the same line, so I'm going to edit system.out.println to just be system.out.print. And if I run that, you can see here my characters were all printed on the same line. And finally, to put spaces between each character, we can now go to our system.out.print, print out the character at position I, and add on a space. And if I run that, go, we've spread out the text "Hello World." To check your understanding, I want you to pause the video at this point and try and change your loop so that you rather start at position 11 and go down to position 0 and see what is printed out. Rather than starting at 0 and going up to 11, start at 11 and go down to 0. Good luck. Let's go through the solution together. So in this case, I want to first print out the exclamation mark at the end. So to do that, I'm going to start at position 11. I'm going to start my I at position 11. Then each time that I come through the loop, I'm going to start by printing out the thing at position 11, which is the exclamation mark. This next time, I don't want to print out the thing at position 12 because it doesn't exist. I want to print out the D at position 10. I want to take my 11 and I want to go down. I want to subtract from it. I'm going to change my I++ to I minus. And the last step is our condition will no longer work. I want to keep going as long as I is bigger than or equal to 0. So I'm going to change this here to I is greater than or equal. It's the wrong way around, wrong crocodile. Greater than or equal to 0. Let's see what this prints out. Run that. Ah, fantastic. So here you can see it's printed out. It started at position 11, printing out the exclamation mark space, then the thing at position D, at position 10, which is the D space, and so on, all the way up to the H at position 0 space. Next, I'd like to print out, instead of L's, the L characters, I'd like to print out X characters in those spaces, in those positions. Go to my text here. And what I want to do is say if the character in the text at position I, if that is an L character, I'm going to surround my L with single quotes. For those of you who don't remember, strings always are surrounded by double quotes. But individual characters are a different data type. They're the char data type, and they have to be surrounded by single quotes. So, and the CharAt function returns a char, so you must compare it with your character surrounded with single quotes. What I want to do is, if my text at position I is an L, I don't want to print out that character. I instead want to print out an X. So I'm going to replace that. I'm going to print out X space. Otherwise, if it's not an L, then I still want to do what I used to do, which is to print out the character at position I. And if we run that, go. Now you can see the L's have been replaced with X's. So perhaps at this point, pause the video and try and change every third character to a Z. Good luck. Welcome back. I hope you persevered and were tenacious and got a solution in the end, but I'm going to go through it anyway, just in case you didn't. So as we loop through the text, I don't want to replace the L's. This time I want to replace any character that is in a position that is divisible by 3. Now, text.CharAt position I gives us the character, but I is the position. And I'm trying to do an operation based on the position, not whatever character is in that position. So I want to check if I is divisible by 3, and if you remember from the mod video, it's I mod 3 equals 0. And in that case, I want to print out a Z. I run it. Great. So you might be thinking, hang on, that thing in position 0 should be a Z, but that's not actually position 0. The exclamation mark, remember, is in position 11, and position 11 is not divisible by 3, so it prints out the standard character. The D is in position 10, it's not divisible by 3, it stays as a D. Then the L that was in position 9 gets replaced by a Z because 9 is divisible by 3. I at position 9 is divisible by 3, and it keeps going all the way down to the last 3 characters where you see position 0 is replaced by a Z.